All right, man, here we go. Last time I was here, I got a fish on the first cast using this same bait from this spot, and it ended up being a pretty good day of fishing. There was no first cast curse or nothing. There was a bite, guys. There he is. Wait. Okay. Got some trash there. We definitely had a bite there. There's no doubt about it. There was a bite. Might have just got a bite there right as the bait hit the water. Definitely felt something. There's a fish. Oh, he's tiny. Even smaller than that one we just lost, but at least we're on the board now. We are on the board. He's frisky. Boy, I would toss him to that egret in a hurry. But he's way over there on the other side. Is this the kind of bass you need to cull out of this pond if you want to get him to grow? I mean, look, he's got clearly good genetics. He doesn't have those big eyeballs. He's got good proportions. This is actually one that may be a future, 4-pounder. But I see a lot of bass in here that are super stunted. This isn't one of them, so I take back what I said. I would not feed this to that bird. But some of these stunted ones, absolutely. Got to get rid of them. Something tells me I'll get at least one on this bait. Maybe a better one too. I mean, damn, the action on that is good. And they've never seen anything like that before. I know it. Can't cast it very far though. You never know when you might have a fish following your bait, so it's good to pause it every now and then, because if you do have one following it, there's a fish. What did I just say? If you have one following it and you pause it, that's when they'll hit it. And sure enough, I paused it, he hit it. This guy has perfect camouflage for a pond like this. The bottom of this pond is very dark. This bass is very dark. So from the top, you really can't see him. There we go. That's a little bit of a stunted one. I was just talking about how some of the bass here have got these big bug eyes and a big head and small body. Look at that. If that's not a stunted bass, I don't know what is. He's been stabbed by a heron before too. All right, well, we've now had 4 bites today. 3 of them hooked, 2 of them landed. So, here you go, bud. Without them on, what the fuck? No way, what was that? Why'd those ducks fall in the water? I didn't hit them with my line. That is weird. That was fucking weird. I don't think they know how to fly yet. That was weird, you guys. Did you see that? I hope that showed up on camera. I may have had my camera a little bit too low. I was casting when they did that. That was weird. That is so weird that these bubblers are off, man. I have never seen that before. I hope they didn't quit working. I hope they just shut them off intentionally to do maintenance or something. Because those are beneficial to have in the summer, man. Like without those, this pond would not be able to support nearly the amount of fish. That's why, part of why it's so good, the fishing here, because there's just so many fish. It's like overpopulated. But the majority of the fish in here aren't stunted. Some of them certainly are, without a doubt. But without those fountains, you would probably have a fish kill in here. They'd run out of oxygen or something. This pond would be able to support half as many fish, probably. There was a fish. All right, we need him. We've gone a little while without a fish. Let's get him. Oh my God. All right, we're on the other side of this bend now. And I've caught a fish here, I think, every time that I've come in the last month or two, however long I've been fishing here. Probably a month. I've at least got a bite here every time out of this spot. So we may be in for a tough finish to the day if we don't get one right in here. There's a fish. Good fish. Good fish. Stay on. Stay on. There we go. All right, we needed that. That breaks a streak of about an hour without a fish. We've had 2 bites. Oh my God, that hook just fell out. I don't even know, that's not even that good of a fish. But I saw the wake of him following my lure, so I paused it and he crushed it. You can do that sometimes, man. When you see a big wave, it looks like something's following your lure. Pause it, let him catch up to it, and it pays off, man. I've done that so many times over my, I guess you could say, fishing career, if you could call it that, where I see one chasing it, you know? It looks like the wake of a boat coming up behind your lure. And that's what this guy did. Let's see. 1.5 pounds. A little bit smaller than the 2 biggest I got yesterday. But we're going to tripod him because he's beautiful. He's very dark. This is why they call him a black bass, because largemouth bass in clear water, pretty much black. You'll see what I mean. In like crystal clear water, they're black. In fairly clear water, like lightly stained, they're green. And then in muddy water, they're pretty much almost white. Can be sort of white. Here we go, 1.5 pound guy. Just barely big enough to tripod because gotta make an exception today, since this might be the last fish of the day. Could be the biggest fish of the day. We missed the king of monsters, Godzilla, in this pond about 30 minutes ago. A fish that could probably eat this one, but still a pretty bass nonetheless. He's black bass. All right, we got a tripod fish. I mean, this is one I normally wouldn't tripod, but it's just been one of those days, kind of like yesterday. Tripoded 2 bass yesterday that were kind of borderline at best, but it is what it is. I'm gonna make like 3 more casts with this thing. There's a fish. Okay, finally got a second one on it. He's barely hooked. Come on. There we go. When I can see 90% of the lure freaking hanging out of his mouth, I know he's not hooked well. He certainly barely got it. If I didn't have this oversized treble hook on here, he might not have got it at all. He got 1 barb really, really well, so that's good. That's all it takes. I mean, you throw a lure with 6 barbs like this with 2 treble hooks, and you only get 1 barb in them, but you get them good, it's irrelevant, man. That fish is staying pinned. And look at that. I guess that's not too ridiculous. Trying to eat a bluegill about 1/4 his size. He's gonna be a big one day. He looks a lot like that first one we got, just smaller on this thing, on the bluegill swim bait. First one we got on it looked a lot like that, but he was bigger. Oh God, man, one thing I really don't want to have to do is touch my freaking bait and get junk off it. I think I got most of that off. Fish! Oh my God, good fish, good fish. Might be the biggest of the day. Stay on. Stay on. No way. All right. And that is how we're going to end the day. This fish has seen better days, man. He's been caught recently, and I just hooked him in the exact same spot that he had been hooked in previously. I'd be willing to bet it was probably me that hooked him. All right, well, that's definitely going to end the day. There he goes. Deep water right here. Filthy fucking water, but deep. Don't want to get that shit on you. Fucking water's radioactive. We'll see you on the next one. Look at that fucking oil slick. Pathetic, people. We can do better.